I'm Ellen McCauley, and I'm at Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. It's cold outside, but it's nice and warm in here at Holy Family Church. I said that I welcomed everyone to write a gratitude prayer, and you have been writing them and sending them to me. And the theme for session 22 was living in the present. And I got a lot out of that. I really got a lot out of it. Because so often I was worried about things that happened in the past, or ashamed, or not worried as much as beating myself up about it. And I was worried about the future, what's going to happen. So often I wasn't living in the present, and so many in the room agreed with me. And now in session 23, the theme is going to be change. Because when you're living in the present, that's where the change occurs. And you don't know, is it positive change? Is it a change that you might like go, oh, I don't really like that change? Most of us don't like change. We like everything to be the same way it's always been. But I'll tell you this, if we do not change, and Stella, I think you'll attest, did you change the way you ate, the way you moved? Did you change those things? Yes. Anyone who's had any successful, sustained weight loss has done some changing. Many of us have to be a little broken before we will start to change. I was very broken when I was in the 300s. When I weighed 371, when I started this group at 338, I felt God didn't care about me. I didn't care about myself. I was depressed. But God takes that brokenness of our souls, of our bodies, of our minds, and He wants to make them whole. And it's with that in mind that I want to read this gratitude prayer. It just grabbed at my heart. Can my broken heart still be grateful? Lord, you have given me more in my complete brokenness than ever in my togetherness. In my brokenness, you have given my heart a right relationship with you. You are my Lord, my friend, my spouse, and I am nothing. Lord, you love me as a father loves his child. Everything is a gift from you. Heaven, earth, life, family, friends, and yes, even my relationship with you. All but you are temporary gifts. I must learn to let them go as you call each gift back to you. This is a hard lesson to learn and taking my lifetime to accomplish. Lord, you never leave me. Even when all seems dark and I cannot feel or find your closeness. Your heart, Lord, was broken for me. And because it was broken, there are cracks where my broken heart can be placed and joined with yours. All of our sorrows, pains, and tears are joined, welding our hearts together like strong steel. When this happens, you gift me with heavenly joy and everlasting gratitude. Oh yes, a broken heart can still be very grateful. Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wasn't that beautiful? Beautiful. This is the caliber of prayers. And now don't get all upset saying, oh, I'm not going to write one because mine won't be that good. Because yours is good for you and what you want to say to God. So I encourage everyone to write a gratitude prayer and hand it in. And I won't use your name, but I will read one at the beginning of every meeting. I want to start by going right to, let me see where I am, the back of the food log. And I put two little inspirations. Every day I read so many inspirations. I get to work an hour and a half before I'm supposed to be there so I can say the rosary and walk and read these inspirations. And so often we hear that people are lonely. People are lonely. And there's a difference between loneliness and solitude. And the thing is, I believe that loneliness and solitude loneliness especially, can be cured by realizing that we're never alone, that Jesus is with us every second of every minute of every day. And so often we say, I just want to be alone, I just need some solitude for my hectic, busy life. But the thing is, if we take that solitude and reflect with a sense of gratitude, appreciation, peacefulness, enjoyment, and prayer, it often will turn loneliness into a peaceful solitude where we can communion with God. So I want you to read that in your own time. And I love Billy. Billy's with Jesus now. Billy waited 100 years to get to be with Jesus, and he's with him now. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. And he says that most of us are living in the bondage of fear. And I have to say, I have a lot of fear, but guess what? I'm better. Better, better, better. And God has brought courage to the hearts. There's promise, hope, and joy without fear, discouragement, or despondency if we read the Bible and come to Jesus. You know, we have a big house, and we have 5 bedrooms. We had 4 children there at one point, and Bob rarely has to go out of town. And a couple of months ago, he had an overnight with a job that they were doing out of town, Saranac Lake. And usually that would put me into trepidation. Oh, alone? And you ever notice that? Anyone ever have a spouse and they go away? It's like all these noises that are probably there all the time. Like, what? What's that? What is that noise? And I thought I'll never fall asleep. And then I prayed about it. I said, Lord, I want to have a spirit that's not a spirit of fear. And I want to just put my safety and protection in your hands. And I went right to sleep that night, and for the first night in a long time, being alone like that, I didn't have fear, and I was grateful. All right, now we talked about change. And tonight I'm going to talk about behavior modification ideas for weight management. Now, I'm going to ask you to spend some time on this in your own reading, maybe in small group, and I want you to look at it with 2019 eyes. I don't want you to say, I know all that, because if you know all that, my question to you is, are you doing all that? Or are you still saying, I know it, but I'm not doing it? One of the big things is weight management involves adopting a healthy lifestyle that includes a knowledge of nutrition and exercise. Here's big, this is big, a positive attitude, internal motives such as better health, increased energy, self-esteem, personal control. Those things are goals you need to have. My goal has always been to be healthier, to move better, to live longer. You don't hear me saying I want to get into a size 10 or I want to go and be on a cover of a magazine. I want to be healthy. You start at your home. If you're standing and eating, there is mistake number 1. You never stand and eat. Do you think if you're shoving a donut in your mouth standing, it has less calories than if you're sitting? So often we eat bad things when we're standing. Do you ever notice? I'm just going to eat this real quick. You're standing, you're running, you're doing something. You sit down. I can't say how important it is to say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My meals are sacred. That's one of the biggest changes I made at Pray It Off. I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have dinner. I do not snack. I don't snack. Snacks get you in trouble. Now, don't sit out there and go, I want an apple. I'm not talking about an apple. Also, you keep tempting foods out of the house. I have been in Price Chopper and seen a Pray It Offer who has literally run like heck to get away from me because they do not want me to see what's in their cart. If you can't proudly wheel your cart by Ellen McCauley, then you have something in your cart you shouldn't have. And then you're saying, but they're for my grandchildren. No, they're not. They're for you. I know they're for you. Also, if you're not preparing a meal, stay out of the kitchen. Why are you in the kitchen? Why? I'm not talking about cleaning up. I'm not talking about playing cards at the kitchen table. I'm talking about don't stand there in front of the refrigerator door with it wide open staring at it, or in the pantry. Control your work environment. One of the biggest things that's helped me over the years is realizing that people in a work environment will eat anything. Anything. You can have 2-month-old Christmas cookies, put them on the table in the break room, and they will be gone in 10 minutes. I have seen people break their teeth on 2-month-old Christmas cookies. They don't care. I always say to myself, where is this stuff from? I don't know. I have no temptation to eat the food on the break room table. We don't know who made it. We don't know where it's from. Now, if you say, but Ellen, I know who made it, Dunkin' Donuts. It's right on the box. The thing is, you don't need it. Also, chewing gum. I chew gum 24/7. It helps me. Here's another thing. I don't care how busy you are at work, take your lunch. Because when I had other jobs, when I was director of admissions, I thought, I can't take a lunch. I have to work. I have so much work to do. I didn't take a lunch, and I was shoving something in my mouth, and I was working so many hours. I am a union employee now. I have to take a 1-hour lunch. To me, a 1-hour lunch is like 24 hours. An hour? Oh my gosh. I exercise for the first half hour, and then I eat something healthy. I take my lunch every day. I encourage you to take your lunch. Also, a no seconds rule. That's another thing. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with no seconds. You say to yourself, I will not have seconds. Everybody repeat after me. I will not have seconds. See? You can do it. You can say it. You can do it. Here's something. If eating is your hobby, you need another hobby. You need painting. You need riding a bike, walking. If you wake up in the morning and you say, what am I gonna eat today? You need a new direction in your life. And I'm not saying this meanly. I'm not saying this flippantly. Many of us have gotten to the point where we think, ooh, what am I gonna eat? What's gonna be to eat? We have to find another joie de vivre besides food. One person did very well this week, these past 2 weeks. I said, what did you do? And she said, I gave up soda. We should not be drinking soda in this group, especially full calorie soda. And any other soda, it's got too many chemicals, too much in it. Also, always have a list when you go to the store. Another person said, oh my gosh, I just came from Wegmans. You'd think it was Armageddon out there. Yeah. People are already saying, there's a storm, oh my gosh, I need bread and milk. These people probably have more food than anything, and they're out there for bread and milk. I think that we will survive this snowstorm. We live in Syracuse. We're going to be fine. Don't snack while cooking meals. If you're eating the food while you're making the food and then you're sitting down to dinner, you've already had a meal. So be careful about that. Also, again, spending time with my mother, I would go and get her tray because she, sometimes she wants to eat in the dining room, sometimes she wants to eat in her room. So then I set the tray in front of her, and then I said, Mom, what are you doing? No one's taking this food away from you. She goes, I always eat fast. I said, but it's not good for you, really. Why don't you have a bite, and then put your fork down, and then chew it, and then take another bite, and put your fork down, and chew it. She goes, why don't you shut up? And so I shut up. My mother is 85 years old. She can do whatever she wants. But you, on the other hand, praying offers, will not tell me to shut up. I think you need to eat more slowly. Okay. Also, if you're with someone else, we've been in restaurants and we saw other couples. They don't talk to each other. They're just sitting there eating. And I think, have they been married too long? Are they getting a divorce? What's going on? Because Bob and I are like, yuck, 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 ha, 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 and we eat slow because we're talking. One of our favorite things to do is, he leaves at 4:30 in the morning. I leave at 5:30 in the morning. We don't see each other all day. So I'll say to him, so you got up, And that means tell me everything you've done since you got up. And then he'll say to me, you got up. I go, and then I did this, this, and this. Catch up on your days. Here's another big one. Limit your eating out. Too many people eat out too much. And there's a lot of other really good tips here. Another thing is entertaining at home. You don't have to have fattening meals. And you have to move. When I go to visit my mother at St. Camilla's, I am the first car that's closest to Fay Road. And then I walk all the way in. Park the farthest away. Having a healthy attitude is the most important thing at all. There are a lot of people in this group that are a teeny bit negative. Sorry, I said it. All right? I'm stopping right there, Bob.